I mean, it is always reasonable.
It is. It's possible.
Again, like, you know, Johnny's going out on a limb here with that particular pick, but I think that people are starting to look at like a lot of the opponents of the Titans and being like, this could be a trap game for you.
Let's be clear.
Like this, right?
We saw them play well once.
Yes.
Let's see if they can do it again. The
Outlaws, it was their most
seen them
recent
play
game
good
that they
over a series of games. It was their most recent game, yes. But you know, we've seen other teams play good for a game and then not good for lots of games. So let's see if they can actually repeat that performance again today. I like the players of the Titans. I've said that before. I think they're going to win games. I didn't predict them to win this game, but I think this team does have potential. I think Johnny's just, you know, he's throwing one out there. If he's wrong, he'll say, oh, well, you know, they're 0-7. I took a flyer. If he's right, he'll be like, look at me, I'm a genius. He'll make like a 35-minute video about him just scribbling over gameplay about how he was right. And that'll be it.
Listen, we all should know by now that False is 33rd in eliminations for the entire.
Yeah, why they got to do anything false like that on Twitter?
Well, what's wrong? That's pretty good in the entire league. That's how I'm choosing.
I saw him reply to it, and he was like, "Yo, like come on, man, yeah, like look for a different stat, find something."
How many players are there in the league? You're 33rd, so you're like, oh, I don't know. You know, there's like 20 by 5, so there's quite a few.
Well, he's in the league, so he's a higher quality of player, just in general.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, okay, if you want to compare him to the entire player base of humans and animals that are too advanced that can actually play the game. But, I mean, we talk about this guy. He's not even playing today, right? Well, let's have a look at our starting lineup for what a segue. For the Titans. Now, Mira is going to be coming in at tank here. We're actually going to have a matchup with two teams using previous DPS players as tanks, but we'll get to that in a minute. You've got to say, Deepa is sort of saying that we as a team are looking for what we're really good at. We just want to find that one thing that like everyone is like on a comfy pick and a strategy that really suits us. We saw it. It looked pretty competitive, right? It looked pretty good. It's going to have to get a lot better and quickly, though.
Yeah, and another change, we have Sky Ripit in today for Masa. So when we casted the game the other day, Masa played, I believe, the entire series. So a little bit of a change-up. We've seen Deepa in the past, I believe, when he was coaching the Gladiators, use Mirror in the tank role. That was in an off-tank role to play like lots of Zarya, but we've seen him pick up the Doomfist, and that looks really good.
So that's your Vancouver Titans starting roster for today. Let's have a look at their opponents, and shouldn't be too shocked to see who we have fronting up today. Again, Dante at tank. We'll have Merit and Pelican at DPS here, Iris and Lastro. Now, obviously, we got to hear from Lastro last time the Outlaws played here. Obviously, feeling pretty good to have a chance to move away from just playing Lucio all the time, right? So, you know, these compositions that are featuring like Baptiste and Zenyatta and stuff, it's really allowing Lastro to go back to kind of what brought him onto the radar in the first place. And we can see just how nasty it is to have Lastro being able to move to like a higher damage potential support hero.
Yeah, and both of these teams are going to play pretty similar compositions, right? With the lineups that they had in. We know when Dante is in, going to be playing a lot of the Doomfist. We see him now even play some of the DPS that we all know him for, right? We've seen him come in on the Tracer to play some of that hero, which he's kind of known for and played in the past, right? His Tracer and his Echo, very strong. We'll see how this matches up, though, between both of these Doomfist-centric teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Or whether we sort of really... I mean, we should expect that from Houston, I think, at the very least here for... for the crew over on the Titans. We don't know what they've been cooking up, right? They've had a little bit more time to start to sort of solidify this roster, but this weekend's definitely been a test of like how quickly they can get some really workable flow charts into their play.
They're playing with house money, the Titans.
Yes.
They're in a great spot. I mean, not in a great spot in terms of record.
You could say the same about a team that's 7-0, though, right? You'd also say a 7-0 team's playing house money because it was a matter of...
Well, they got a new coach coming in. They have young talent across the board. Everybody kind of brought together. You're going up against teams, I believe their schedule is quite rough throughout this stage. You're just about improvement at this stage in the game. And if you're the Titans, you know you have the individual talent to be able to do that. You just got to put it together. Yeah, everybody.
Damn, Pelican typing those long sentences out so quickly, huh?
Yeah.
Impressive words per minute, my friend.
They got to revisit some of those. What's that, the mommy thumb one?
Yeah. People my age shouldn't suck their thumbs. Yeah. Impressive. Right, well, that aside, feeding time might be on the horizon here for one of these teams. I won't tell you which one it is. We're out of the gates here, though, and we have the Doomfist mirror compositions here. Somewhat similar. The Outlaws actually have Iris on the Ana here instead of, I mean, the Baptiste, which was Iris' best hero by none. He was the best Baptiste, in my opinion, in the whole league last year.
Yes, Pelican will end up getting that first pick as you have Skyripper in for the Titans, and that's probably to play the Baptiste. We don't really see Masa play too much of it, right? So you can bring in Skyripper, play that Baptiste in this double flex support setup.
Yeah, this is specifically for the Zen and the Baptiste. I think if there's like a Brig play, the Must can absolutely do that, as we know. Mirror, little tech, love to see it. Catapults himself across the map. Still no closer to having captured this point here, but starting to zero in on that backline a little bit more. It's going to be Lastro falling here. Aztec's able to find that elimination. Dante
Aztec
low.
gets 2. Aztec is able to take out Pelican and gets Lastro, so some nice shots at range here. Mirror a little bit deep, but Spire and Skyripper going to answer back with some kills, so not going to be able to push forward just yet for the Outlaws. It'll be the Titans with a point flip.
Yeah, nice opener here for Vancouver. And we're starting to realize that Aztec might be one of the sharpest blades in the arsenal here for the Titans. And Zenyatta play so far has been really quite impressive. They're going to Spire on the Tracer, right where the guy wants to be. Oh man, that hurts though. Getting Aztec plucked out of the bunch there by a rail for Merit early on in the round here. Skyripper now needs to step up in the absence. That's beautiful. That's a whole backline. 2 for 1 for Aspire. Maybe even more than he anticipated he'd get. And that's going to get the Titans further out in front.
And this type of meta is good for the Titans. If they can play, Mirror can essentially just kind of like play like DPS Doom, right? Go in, be a nuisance. And then you put Aspire and Shockwave on 2 DPS heroes. That's a nice stick. It looks like Lastro may have just got too close to Iris. But on 2 damage dealers where they can really have like game-changing takeover potential, you like them to be able to do that. In terms of like where they kind of stack in the league, like they have the talent to be able to do that against the best.
Yeah, it might just be the right time for this team to start finding those wins. We'll see. The Outlaws are behind here in a big way. Dante's having to deal with an Air Matrix in his face and a Discord Orb, by the way. But Merit's come alive once more. Headshots with 2 rails, make it a 3rd. Not a headshot, but he'll be more than happy with that elimination. And Johnny said he was like not as impressed as Merit, I think, on the Sojourn, but in my memory, I thought he was quite impactful.
Yeah, as he used the overclock there and turns out gets a few kills. But the Titans get to 92%, and Shockwave's going to have that ultimate ability as well, which we know how good he is on the Sojourn, as we talked about it a little bit yesterday. The Titans look in control of this game early on. All right.
Transcendences for both sides. Overclock here for Shockwave. Up to his perch for the time being. Miro took a lot of damage early, so he has to get out. Dropping back in with a Meteor Strike, but Skyripper is taken down. Transcendence still going to be used here, so the Titans have a feeling they can actually get a W here. This is a big risk, I'll be honest with you. Iris goes down though, and yeah, it looks like Lastro just gets run over the top of. It's a brute force solution from Vancouver, but it's still effective.
I like the use of the Transcendence though. They have the Transcendence with the Overclock, and they basically just get Shockwave into close range with the Railgun, and basically they just go start insta-killing people. Use it more like a shotgun.
Do they waste those ults though, because they got another fight to win? Spire, low, has to recall there, but his opponent knows exactly where he's going to end up because he didn't move much in those few seconds. Shockwave now needs to try and put some pressure down, but Merit is missing and Iris is in all sorts of trouble, but still wins out the duel. And who turned back? But Lastro comes in on the Lucio. Now going to top that backline up, and Dante's looking pretty good here as well with a Meteor Strike to make a reset. Dropping back onto the point now, and he sees Aztec looking worse for wear. Into the power block, so Aspire needs to turn his attention elsewhere as well. Still getting rid of Aztec is all that needs to be done here. The Outlaws, they survived. The Titans overinvest in their previous fight, Matt.
I mean, I think they had a good chance to put it away. I don't know if I would call that an overinvestment. As you come back now, does Aztec stay on this? No, he's going to go to the Zen. So you'll have an Ant Matrix here to be able to use. And Aztec has been able to pick up some big kills, though, on the Zen. So you just like his overall damage output, the contribution. Aspire with another pulse bomb. Already got that double kill on the supports the last go around.
93 in counting. The Titans tantalizingly close to a round win earlier. Now they need to dig a little deeper to find it. Spire takes note of Pelican's position there. He's controlling the Mega Health Pack pretty effectively, but the stick is good. Dante gets a nano boost straight away. Though Merit's going to fire up with the overclock here. Mira's in deep trouble. Forced into a power block. Had to cancel that, though, to reposition. And Merit meets him as he comes back down. Oh, so close for the Titans, but no cigar.
Very close round one, though. Back and forth between these two teams. The nano boost there from Arizona Dante was huge as he got stuck with the pulse bomb. Needed that healing and damage reduction to stay alive on through it. And then he comes up with some big kills with Merit towards the end. But that first round is any indication about the rest of this series. This one's going to be pretty close.
Yeah. The narrative I think we're spinning, but also observing, Matt, is that the Titans players all kind of get to fill roles where they feel very comfortable. And up against trying opposition like this, it's crucial. The nano there for Dante to keep him alive despite the stick. That's basically the door getting slammed in the Titans' face.
I think we'll see very similar compositions moving in here towards Lighthouse and G2. So it's not surprising with these two players in on the tank roles for each team. Potentially like some D.Va play, right? We've seen Dante play D.Va way back in the past, I believe. Probably see Mirror have to play it at times, but I think both of these teams feel comfortable with this really aggressive Doomfist play.
They're just trying to find a little bit of damage to stop the charge from melting away. Again, a risky backline for the Outlaws. It's not mobile by any stretch of the imagination. It's saw the Pulse Bomb double kill from Aspire because neither of those heroes can get away from each other in the case of one of them being stuck. So they need to be mindful of what Aspire can do to them. But the Allies will start in control of the point here as Shockwave's had limited opportunity to get value so far.
He put some nice damage down into one player at range, but not able to get the kill as the Outlaws take position on the point, and the Titans just trying to figure out how to attack this. As the Outlaws have been pretty slippery, not able to find out where exactly they are. As this is a close-up battle between the two Sojourns as Shockwave comes out on top.
Yeah, Matt, the headshot finish on Merit. It was a close one, though. But Shockwave's able to be topped up when he needs. I think Merit's definitely looking elsewhere here. And well, let's assume that was on purpose from Dante.
All right, so the point flip is Pelican comes in, kills Fury. As he actually got hit with a biotic grenade. Nano the Tracer.
Pardon? Pelican looks for more. Aztec stays him off with an orb, though. And Matrix Force, the Immortality Field also comes out, and the Outlaws can rely on more than just Pelican to bail them out of this situation. They're back in control.
Yeah, it's a big biotic grenade onto Mirror, and he's already low, and they decide to nano the Tracer and follow it up.
Yes. Yes. Our observers are feeling sassy today.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Very, very purposeful.
He's going fast. Look, he's
got the Sonic shades on.
Yeah, the Sonic.
Alrighty. This Spice found Iris here with that Pulse Bomb, so tough start for the Outlaws. Lastro's go for the Transcendence. They still got forced there. I think Lastro was hoping to hold on to it a little longer. Yeah, that's right. Outlaws lose control there sort of amidst that fight. Pelican Pulse, that's big. So now it's 4v4, and there's going to be reinforcements on the scene pretty quickly here for the Outlaws. They don't even need them. They're winning short-handed fight. Merit a big part of that. So Overclock there is going to put the fear of God in Shockwave, and he'll give some ground.
So the point just flipping back and forth between these two teams, but with that early control, that's where the Outlaws build up this massive lead. So they just might need one more fight to go in their favor as only 2 ultimates available for the Titans here. You win this fight if you're Houston. You put this map away.
All right, Shockwave has to go big here. He needs a big overclock. Mira has to be topped up there rather quickly, get him back in position to contest, and Shockwave wants to keep a flanking angle. Iris, oh, he's put to sleep! Shut down by Iris, and that was exactly what the Outlaws had to do. The biggest hope for the Titans was definitely that ultimate. Now what? The Immortality Field also had to be used to try and keep Shockwave in fighting form, and Mirror's so low on the point. Aztec's going to get steamrolled by Merit now as he looks to lay a new road between the Outlaws and victory. And the Titans are stuck in the rickshaw on the side of it.
This is our objective.
99%. The point did flip here, but Aspire is going to be forced away. And the Outlaws now have overtime.
Still have Aspire here. He can get a touch. I believe Skyrip also looking out from another angle. So that'll be an Ant Matrix down for the Titans.
Aspire gets the orbital land strike. It was hoping to avoid. Merritt, gonna be careful, playing pretty close against the Doomfist there. Is stunned up. But it's only Shockwave, the last remaining hope for the Vancouver Titans, and the Outlaws making a convincing second round, Matthew. They get pushed a bit for sure on Ruins, but looking like they've found their stride here on Lighthouse.
Yeah, the first point very close. The second point, it was back and forth. Titans gained some percentage, but they were never really in control. It was all Outlaws there in our second point.
Not too shabby here from Houston. Again, this is a team that sort of felt middling going into the kickoff Clash tournament. They need to be more than that here, and this is how they start. Stick around, everybody. Map number 2. You know the drill. It's on the other side of the break.
Please don't let me in.
Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time on my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My gut eye on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. All these people trying to box me in. I'm at my weather, it's on, yeah. Now they ask where I'm at. Making hits that line back. I'm MJ, I'm 2-3, man. I just need some time back. I'm zoned in like defense. My life gone, no recess. But I live my best one, so I got no regrets. So I'm gone. Finally back in my home. I'm working like so much, they swear I had me a clone. Can't answer my phone now, just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now.
Well, the win con here was for Shockwave to get a big ultimate on that Sojourn, but that was not to be, Matthew.
No, as a huge sleep dart comes in, potentially seals the deal there for the Houston Outlaws, as it was a back and forth up until that point. So, Titans do look much improved, not enough to get a win there. So we got some subs here, Mitch. So for the Outlaws, it'll be Piggy in for tank. Dante will move over to take Pelican's spot in terms of DPS. And for the Titans, it'll be Masa coming in for Aztec. So probably Brig with a bat, you would think, for the Titans. Maybe they also want to play some Lucio, potentially. And then for the Outlaws, you think Sigma play, and then Dante, whether it's probably like a 24/7 Tracer type of scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if he might get a matchup against Aspire in that regard. And yeah, I'm curious to see. Obviously, when Masa comes in, you know, it's just, you know, any comp that's not going to be Zen and Baptiste. So not a huge surprise if we get a change there. And obviously, Masa, more known for his Lucio player, boasted some really solid Brigitte stats last year, actually, or in years gone by. So definitely not... it looks like a subtle change here, but it definitely indicates a change in sort of compositions for both teams, right? I don't think there's any teams really doing what Dante is doing right now. Maybe if we see Mira play DPS at some point, which I still doubt. So yeah, very unique ability for Houston to reconfigure themselves when we go into a map like Midtown, as the situation calls for it.
I also think if you want to use Dante more in the DPS role throughout the season goes on, I assume that's probably the role that he would like to play. You know, giving him game time in a series like this makes a lot of sense, right? We know how good of a tracer he is. And maybe that's kind of the role that he fits in, right? Where he kind of plays the Doomfist in terms of tank, and then maybe, you know, when they just want to stick to a tracer, right? He is like their tracer-only type of player. Where Pelican can play the tracer, he can also flex over to some other things if need be.
Yeah, I mean, the irony of that, I think, is was like Dante's rise to quote-unquote fame in the Overwatch League came from, you know, everybody who played with him being like, this guy can, you know, kind of play everything, right? Really, really flexible individual. Great Sombra player, which she was, you know, often required. But you're definitely on the right track in terms of that perma tracer role, and the compositions here for the Titans, pretty similar, and you're right. We see Brig now, but getting played with Masa back in the lineup. It's Brig Baptiste.
Yep, makes sense. We are having Skyripper come in to play the Baptiste there in map number 1. It's the first time we've seen him here in the Midseason Madness. Masa comes in, he will play the Brig, where Merritt working around the outside here, just trying to find an angle, put down some damage with a charge shot.
Aspire, I guess, isn't bothering with that part of the map for now. Okay, now I realize Merritt. Merritt just slides between the legs of Mira by the looks of things. Able to get himself out of a kind of a risky situation.
Wow. So it puts down so much damage in that small area, and then it also has that slow effect, right? Where it kind of just binds people there for a little bit.
Yeah. Homie's a freaking edge dancer. That was some smooth moves for sure. Now Merritt obviously just trying to make sure that, you know, I think it was Aspire can't get back in sort of pressure. Shockwave, rather, is the one that's sort of been zoned away by Houston here. Disruptor shot thrown in the doorway. Pretty easy to make it hard to get onto the point, but Master comes in with a shield bash. Merritt turns his attention back to his team. So Shockwave has decent vantage right now. You can see him out there in the distance, but we've got 2 ticks and almost 3 here. Houston have just decimated the Titans.
Merritt hitting some shots here in this map. What's interesting is like both of these Sojourns, we've seen it from Shockwave a little bit, but Merritt more. I think, especially at the start of this map, like using the rail and using Sojourn like in a mid to short range, right? being able to form up with that, like a SMG like rifle type, really fast in the close range, and then those, like basically like face-to-face insta-kill rail guns. Yeah, it's
you may not
really
headshot
tough
them,
to stop.
but it's like, you know, combined with, you know, Sojourn's damage is legitimately scary just with the primary fire, which is that close, right? So usually those rails are not for headshots, not for picks, they're just to finish off kills that you've already set up.
The rate of fire is so fast, right, from the primary fire as well.
Yeah, you work people down awfully quickly. Immortality Fields are down here. I think Spire was just being very careful about how he wants to approach this situation. No, the accretion from Piggy. Oh my, Spire had no idea what hit him. Should have paid more attention in geology class, homie.
The Sojourn damage is scary on its own, like you mentioned. And that's without even like the Discord being put into play, right?
Right.
You know, now with the Discord orb of Zenyatta in play, Discord plus that Sojourn damage, just like the assault rifle with how fast it shoots at that like medium to close range, and then the rail, players getting chunked down really fast.
All right, Merritt again probably looking to play up close and personal with this overclock, force the power block already. Misses that rail on Shockwave, needs a few more of those. Immortality Field going to be deployed, and Merritt's already topped up instantly. Eris to the rescue, but Baptiste clutch as heck, but Merritt still can't get in close enough. Massa, some stones on that, man. Charging forward. Despite the ulti Sojourn in his way, able to find that elimination here at Houston, are a bit of an awkward spot, but that Immortality Field is now gone. Piggy's gotten rid of it here. Shockwave still able to stand on 2 feet though, and the Titans dig deep.
He shoots like over the shoulder at Piggy and hits Lashto right in his noggin. Takes him out. Man. Zen's got to be fun for some players to play during this meta, but also when you're going up against players like Merritt and Shockwave and like some of the other crazy hit scans you have in the league, it's got to be brutal to play against the Sojourn at times.
Oh, Lashto didn't care. He's out of Lucio jail for a bit. My guy is he's running through the cornfields. He's loving it.
Mirror dodges that pulse spell. Gets out of the way, so good progress by the Outlaws thus far, though.
Yeah, decent time make to work with here as well. Plus, this high ground is pretty natural for them now, based on where the card is and how easy it is to draw back the Titans. Merritt's going to slide backwards here as he sees that Air Matrix used. This is going to slow the Outlaws down once more as that Immortality Field has now been removed. Mira gets in very deep there. Massa and Sky Ripper with him.
They take out Shockwave, so can you make something out of this? You still have Dante here on the card. Yeah, it looks like both supports going down. The answer is no.
Such a late Immortality Field from the Titans, so with just the vestiges of a team, the Outlaws can't really force anything more than that.
Get real.
You see now that the Titans can hold this high ground, how difficult it is for the Outlaws to gain control. So they got the cart underneath the bridge, but they're now getting control of this bridge again is proving to be very difficult.
All right. Air Matrix now for the Outlaws available. All right. Good timing there from Lastros. Mira's not able to charge Super Punch off that, and the damage still came in. Yeah, Mira can't just stand up on the high ground here. Resets himself there, has to get out. Yeah, that would have been a very bad situation. Does he want to commit to this? He does. Right, Gravitic Flux here. That's happening elsewhere. Piggy's able to get rid of Sky Ripper. And Mira eats a rock. Yeah, not really where he wants to be at all. And now the Outlaws should have this checkpoint here. Really be disappointed if they're not able to convert.
And pretty good defense here by the Titans. Their point A defense wasn't great, but being able to hold that high ground here for a little bit and put up a defensive stand could set them up to deny the Outlaws from completing the map.
Sky Reaper has the Immortality Field there and a bit of an... Oh, he walked out of it! Oh, Mirror found him around the corner. Sky Reaper put the Immortality Field in such a position there, he had to back away from it ultimately towards his own spawn. That hurts. That hurts real bad. The Outlaws now can just send Piggy forward here to set up like a forward base.
Yeah, so they're going to push on forward, get Piggy in this position, put down a shield, some extra damage, just try and get more cart progress as the Spire is behind enemy lines. Doesn't have a pulse bomb though.
Wants to try and combine here, I guess, with that Sigma. Oh, dear, Merritt! Absolutely rolled there, long range. Piggy takes a big rail as well. Nice accretion, but needs more pressure on Shockwave. That'll do it. He jumped out of the Immortality Field, so Dante going to be happy with a bit of a freebie there. Despite losing They're Soju and the Outlaws still feel confident. This Ant Matrix might change the calculus there a little bit. Maybe at this point they settle for some cart progress if they can get it. Dante clambers over Aspire's corpse, freshly made, of course, with that Discord Orb assistance from Lastro, and this is getting ugly.
I was going to say, and here comes Merit off the spawn with his ultimate as well.
Oh, man.
Samira takes some big shots, and Lastro finishes him off. Graphitic Flux available here for Piggy coming up. Potentially finish this one off for the Outlaws, get a map completion.
And a Widowmate can pick here for Aspire. I guess he thought he had decent sidelines, but now he has to play pretty aggressively. Try to flank around now and make it happen himself, but it's too late. Far too late for that.
It's a pretty decent defense here towards the end, though, from the Titans. Map completion for the Outlaws. A little bit of time left in the bank. I believe it was like 42 seconds, yep, on the clock. So we'll see if the Titans can put together a pretty good offense. Defense held strong there in point B.
Yeah, the Widow switched towards the end. I guess I kind of understand it from Aspire's perspective, given some sight lines and if you can get an insta-kill there, but tough ask, really, is a lot of those key ultimates came online at about the same time. You kind of mentioned it, Merit coming back off spawn, you know, with Overclock ready and Piggy's Gravitic Flux. I mean, you can see Merit's happy just to body shot an enemy Sigma, knowing just how much damage is going to do, how much pressure that's going to put down on them. So Houston gets snarled up in that second part of the map a little bit there, and I've got to be honest with you, I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, Shockwave being able to step up to Merit's level, and Mira being pretty clever about how he cycled back and forth on the high ground. But here's Dante obviously getting that pulse, and the Immortality field was there, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe he possibility he didn't think that the Immortality field was going to come, that it had already been used, or just kind of. Yeah, maybe
he may have cued the jump portion of the power slide before that came down as well.
Yeah, that's also true, right? Could have slid and then the jump just kind of brought him out of it unintentionally.
Just unlucky, really. That's all I can say about it. But it did undo them there. All right. Mira comes out. Tries to charge a power block here. Let's have a look at the Outlaws lineup. So they are going to have a Tracer playing that loose end towards the alleyway. And that's the alleyway that Merit was able to sneak all the way up, if you recall the Outlaws attack.
Sigma as well, where we'll have the accretion for the stun. So Dante takes a little bit of damage here. It's quite low.
He's trading with a Sigma right now.
Yeah, but look at Piggy. He's able to put down some big damage, though, if they kind of go towards that alley.
I mean, Piggy's denying the underpass in a big way. The alley is where the Titans are trying to go right now, and they get Mira up a bit further, but he takes so much damage. It's Immortality field already. You want to save that for when you're on the point trying to cap, one would expect. That's not available now.
They have pushed the Outlaws back, though, into this corner. So, they're going to try and collapse on the Shockwave. They're going to catch him out on the high ground alone.
I think they were intended to fire that towards the underpass, not at his own feet. That doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Collapsing on a Shockwave is what gives the Outlaws that huge advantage in the fight. And yeah, like Dante was holding, I think, like 3 players from the Titans at bay, slowing them down as they push through the alleyway. I really like giving a lot of time for the Outlaws to reposition for that sort of flank.
Fire behind.
Hello.
No pulse bomb.
He's waiting. He's waiting for his team to get in position.
Yeah, and if they can force him into that back corner, right? Where like Lastro is currently to make a play.
Oh, okay. Iris had an Ant Matrix there, but Shockwave just sort of blows him up. Dante combining on the mirror here. Obviously, Doomfist sort of eating an accretion there, I'd say, and that's 2 for Dante now. Spire spent so much time waiting in the wings that his golden opportunity might have passed him by already. Lastro does that.
It was tough as well because there's a large gap for him to close, and he's got a Discord on him the entire time, so Lastro's able to track him. Goes in, tries to get that pulse onto Lastro. Potentially would have forced out like a Transcendence, or I know they would have just sacrificed Lastro in that situation, but does not connect. So down to 1:45 already here for the Titans.
You really need a big time bank for the next phase of the map. That's where things get a little dicey. No, let's not even bother talking about phase 3 for the time being. Merit controlling the train card here. Knows that Shockwave wants to duel. He wants to get a 1v1 if he can. Mira, no such delusions of grandeur. He was happy to interrupt the duel. Immortality field's down now. Merit spends one of those charges of Overclock to get rid of it. Right up in the face of Masa. Sends a rail his way.
Still not able to get really through this choke and challenge this Sigma as This will be the ult from Shockwave. Has to go big.
He's got to be careful. Another Discord applied to him could make things a little lethal, but getting rid of Dante is huge. Transcendent's going to be popped here. The Outlaws playing with 4. No Tracer. So it's time for Merritt to stand up and find some big damage. No support ultimates available for the Titans here, so the Outlaws need to be patient. They don't get anything with that Transcendence, but Lastro delivers the damage where it counts, finding Shockwave downrange.
Yeah, and they weren't on the point as well, so stopped capping it for a little bit there. Nice.
It's good. Iris didn't have the immortality field, apparently. Dante trying to reciprocate on the other side of the map, but Lastro strikes again! Another key kill on a DPS! That's 2 from Lastro onto DPS in this one fight, and that's going to bail the Outlaws out again.
And you see Piggy just sitting at 100% HP there on the Sigma, whether it's the shielding, the kinetic grasp, also that shield able, like, Lastro's able to, like, kind of jiggle play around it. Makes it difficult there for Aspire to make a play as Graphitic Flux and Damp Matrix available here for the Outlaws.
It's go time now. Skyreaper needs to get some value out of this Amp Matrix. Going to be dealing with one from Iris as well. Need to respect it as Iris has already found one. Going to have to be an immortality field, but Skyreaper put it out in the open. He left the immortality field where it could just get picked off by Merritt before the Gravitic Flux procced. And that's that. The Titans are stopped short of that first point, and the Outlaws take a comparatively comfortable 2-map lead.
Yeah, and the Sigma makes it very difficult to get through that choke there for the Titans, trying to make plays constantly to put pressure onto the supports of the Outlaws. They did put that pressure on, it's just not enough as they cannot dislodge Piggy from the choke.
Bit of a reality check here for the Vancouver Titans. While they've been looking better, they have to be able to beat the best. And the Outlaws looking like they're vying for that kind of title right now. Looking good so far. Let's see how far this series can go. Do the Titans have anything left to call upon?
laying down the law.
Rotation to the point, but it's WGS Phoenix winning the fight.
Saved by Aztec though. It happened.
Oh my.
Even Scale instantly deleted. Oh my goodness. A little band switcher.
Have you picked up the legendary Luchador Reaper skin yet? The Kickoff Clash legendary skin still on sale through June 25th, so that's like 6 days for just 200 League tokens. Don't miss out, because it ain't coming back. You know, I'll be missing out on a chance to own a piece of Overwatch League history. And we're, you know, adding another page to the history books right now as we chronicle the evolution of this Vancouver Titans roster. You know, they're upright, they're able to walk, they're able to communicate, you know what I mean? They are definitely evolving here in this league. But again, going up against a squad like the Outlaws, who definitely feel like they're an advanced life form in how they go about putting together their strategies. They're definitely a cut above right now. The Titans need to get it together, and they're bringing False in for Mira.
Yeah, I believe everybody is an advanced life form in the game right now. I didn't really grasp any of that. So False comes in.
It's an advantage.
Dante over to
Their
Tank.
literal logo is like a Sasquatch. Hello?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I get it.
You're killing me.
I mean, I don't really get it. It's kind of some boomer analogy you came up with. So Dante will be on the tank for Piggy, so it tells you some Doomfist play. You got Pelican coming back in the damage dealer role. So Dante kind of like musical chairs here between the tank and damage dealer role, where.
What do you mean? He's not moving his seats at all, mate. They just change where the bloody camera is. You know how broadcast works?
You know what
the same damn chair, isn't it?
You know what I mean?
I don't get it. Remember that one?
I feel like you just did that out of spite because I blew up your joke.
I mean, listen, I won't confirm or deny these rumors, but I tell you what, I tell you what we can do now. Our
Hey,
common
Griffin
ground
talk
comes
yet?
to-
I'll cast with him. How far away is he from talking?
Oh, just you wait, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we've got some stuff in store for you caster-wise in the near future. Don't you worry. Okay, map number
Somebody
3.
on my intelligence level. Give me Griffin. What's he talking? What's he talking
Gibraltar?
about now?
Oh, you know, nothing really. Yeah, it doesn't say a lot, so you might be right. You might be on the right track, to be honest with you. Couple, you know, sounds. There definitely some sounds being made.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing really
That's
coherent
improvement.
as of
That's
yet,
improvement.
So. Yeah, you know, no. Like I said, evolution. It's happening right before our eyes. Look, I mean, do we expect? So we saw Diva play on this map previously. You know, against like a Winston setup. If we get a Sigma look from the Titans, what do you sort of think about it? Because while it is playable, right, you can definitely go for this. We see teams almost allow this map to dictate they move back to more like mobile tanks.
Yeah, and we've seen False on Winston already. So you can come out on Sigma, you can try on the Winston. It gives you a little bit more options, where the Outlaws, it seems like it is Doomte or bust. So that's kind of it here, where you know that he's going to play the Doomfist. Can you stop it? We'll find out.
That guy played Diva in Goats. Put some respect on the man's name.
True.
He played a lot of Diva in Goats. My dude.
Stop the payload.
Yeah. Different story now. Sim TP across, pretty standard. And we'll see the Titans try to, look, pretty ponderously scale up their control of this part of the map.
Shockwave, you see like the shooting there, just trying to find any damage to just keep this charge going, right?
Yeah.
Any hits will keep this charge going, and there's not too much to it. Also, happy to see Paulson on in putting him on a role that we know he's able to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seen him put on a lot of different tanks that may not be his number one. Now you have him on a Sigma.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously more of an off-tank player in Overwatch 1 was False, alongside Reiner. We'll see what the Sigma has in store for us here. Doom versus Sigma, I guess. So Dante just has to be aware of that. Christian can really end his day pretty quickly. The Titans have to go slow here. That's nasty stuff. And what a beautiful setup I think that was from Dante. A charged power block.
I think the biggest setup there was actually Iris with a biotic grenade. Connects with 2 players there. I believe he connects with False and Masa. So both of those players get pretty weak on the high ground.
Bionated and blown up.
Yeah, and just a lot of damage that comes through from Merit and Pelican as Pelican's got a pulse bomb here. He's lurking on the low ground. I think he hears a Spire on the other side. Yeah, just gonna put some shots into him, just make him aware.
Again, the Titans are prone to playing pretty close with the Baptiste composition.
Dante knocks him
So
off the
pulse
high ground.
bombs. Yeah, that's so annoying for the
Which,
Titans.
yeah, they have to go all the way
position.
around, right?
Oh my god! Somebody get these guys an elevator. All right. Well, back on the grind, as they say. Once again, Dante just starts popping him in the kisser. That nano boost there is going to make it pretty hard to do too much, especially without a Zenyatta against the Doomfist. But the Titans eventually get this very hard-fought high ground, so good on them.
Yeah, they need to try and play for this position. They get Dante low, just not able to finish him off.
They can't chase him, they lack the mobility.
The rest of the team, yeah.
For whatever reason, Aspire's not in position to pursue Dante. They're getting Iris, though. Masa, okay, another one. The whip shot really going to work here. And that's definitely going to allow the Titans to make some key progress here. Should they want to?
Gonna be a Skyrim
Spoiler,
down.
they should.
Yep, he's gonna get on the payload. They're gonna put 2 players on it now. Try and get it closer towards the end, but it's gonna be a contest here coming in from the Outlaws.
Pelican up behind them there. Lastro, what positioning? Okay, Spire has to recall now. Pelican waiting for the Tracer to return to the fray. Now Spire has no options except a health pack. Well, we see Pelican's recall there, comfortably able to get away. Spire now no immortality field. A lot of pressure on the cart from the Outlaws here. It's going to have to be a rally from Masa as the Titans again. They just want to double down here, but it might end up hurting him in a big way, Matt. Merit keeps himself clear of a lot of the debris here as False goes for kinetic grasp, but he can't stop a rail.
Yeah, and they didn't have a ton of time here, the Titans, left on the clock. That's probably why you see a pretty large commitment there with the rally towards the end of that fight.
30 seconds.
So 30 seconds on the clock, we can see from Lastro's
This
POV.
positioning.
Ooh, just a nice headshot there. So Shockwave does have the overclock. Could end up with some big picks as False is now over to the Diva.
Last time we talked that up, he got slapped by Iris. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, the Titans are going to have to rely on that key ultimate and nothing more for the time being. Dante forced into power block and to give up the high ground, and here we go. Shockwave into overclock. No targets. There's Lastro. Okay, he gets him. That's huge with Iris going down. The support line ruined from the Outlaws. Should be impossible for them to come back, and yet Pelican's still fighting. They give up the point regardless.
Yeah, huge kills there. Shockwave. Will they get one of the supports? They had another kill go down onto support, so getting both of them out of the question, out of the way, and they're able to get the payload across the line. So now we see False and the Diva. So maybe a little bit better to be able to brawl out with Dante.
Tough for defenders, no matter what team you are, this part of the map, especially when you've lost control of it early on here. And you can see the Outlaws how much they value getting back to this high ground, getting on top of this shuttle, denying that away from the Titans. And they seem, I mean, for all intents and purposes, to have done that for the time being. But look at the aggressive play for the Titans. They sent a Diva forward here with that immortality field. Shockwave's able to get Merit there, of course, with that ability that normally is just to just deny some zone. And that's a Transcendence forced out of Lastro. What can the Outlaws do with this?
They're not going to really get much for the Transcendence outside of just kind of keeping Lastro alive. Beautiful ball spawn there from Masa. From Pelican onto Masa, man. It's going to be a cleanup crew here for the Outlaws. See if Titans decide to make any changes off this. Do they decide to continue with the Diva, with the Lucio? Gives them a little bit more access to the high ground, speed to get on through. They're actually going to bring in a Moira with this. Interesting.
Hard to see Shockwave finding like ideal range to play at here. This is a little bit longer than what Sojourn prefers to sort of fight from. And that's probably why you saw Lastro sitting on top of the shuttle, proud as could be. Because he knows it's pretty hard to get rid of him unless you get a bit closer like this. So gap closed now with the Moira in tow for the Titans. Big mix-ups here as False goes for the Diva.
And you see the dive onto the high ground from the Titans, and Dante is playing the Doomfist, not really kind of going for the backline of the Titans, but counter diving in. When the Titans dive in, he uses his seismic slam to just kind of follow them up.
Yeah, he values the position more so than, you know, getting to the back line and just getting kills. I mean, if you peek out against Merit right now, you are asking for it. Even if you don't, he's still going to be looking for you. The Titans are pretty much caught inside that room. There is a mega health pack inside of there.
They know the baby
Pulse doesn't hit.
Well,
Skyripper slept inside, just dropped the shot. He has to fade just to stay alive. Still not great now. Having lost Master, and there's a nano boost here in play. Dante continues to stake his claim to the shuttle, but Lastro's left all on his own. He's out of position, and he gets mowed over. How'd that happen?
I mean, he's playing down on the cart, just trying to contest, and it just gets run over. You might still be able to come back. Oh, I was going to say contest, but
You've
nice
given
shot
it over.
from Shockwave there on the Dante. Yeah, you might have to give it up now.
Yeah, Zen being the one to contest the card there is... Well,
He was close
credit to the
Transcendence,
Titans.
but
I guess. I think Vancouver did really well to identify a golden opportunity there to find a free kill. So how's this happen? Okay, no, okay, he's just stood there.
yeah.
There is an attempt at peeling from Dante. You see him there. It's just far too much coming at Zen.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw from the overhead cam, you know, the Flash just on the cart. Yeah, False and Sky ripping through, just run him down.
Oh, Titans. Gotta keep moving. 50 seconds left. Pelican Pulse Bomb, Lastro, of course, that Transcendence that never got to see the light of day in that previous fight. And again, it is Dante transitions to the high ground to peel, but falls right into the trap, apparently. Blown up by Aspire.
They've looked much better now, the Titans, with this Diva in the mix. There's nothing they can really do to defend the backline playing this Doomfist tank.
Aspire doesn't recall despite being hit with a biotic grenade there. Just trusts that not enough players are looking at him. That's definitely eyes on Shockwave though, as Merit lines him up. And the Outlaws are able to find something here. So the Titans now, their chances of finishing the map looking a little dubious. There's some stagger afoot as well.
They know that the Diva's up here on the high ground. It's going to have to drop, so self-destruct. Meteor Strike just to dodge it.
Yeah, Dante realizing he couldn't reposition, I guess, as quickly as he would have liked. And could have come in from an unexpected angle as he does in that next fight. Laser focus from Merit as he finishes off Aspire, declaring that defensive stand here. So 2 checkpoints, 71 or so meters. Decent for the Titans, but it could have been over before point A, let's be honest.
Good for the Titans. You also feel like it's quite decent for the Outlaws as well, quite oddly. It's way easier.
Hey, zero sum,
for them.
mate. Can't be good for both teams.
Well, no, I think it's good for the Outlaws in the sense that I think it's going to be very. I think it's easier to play the Doomfist tank on offense than defense in this type of position. So to now deny them a map completion, you're probably still happy if you're the Titans in terms of your progress where it was. To deny them a map completion, you feel like you can take advantage of that now if you're the Outlaws.
About to get real.
Houston know that, yeah, again, they don't have to be the quickest team. They can sort of take their time and play around a lot of those key ultimates here and advance in a relatively stately manner. Yeah, Aspire just hard loses that 1v1, and Pelican follows up by just ruining Master. But that Discord orb is what he walked in with. So Lastro managed to get 2 key Discord orbs on both those targets from playing in a fairly obscure location as well.
So the Outlaws have some time to make some changes, but could go with something like this with the Genji a little bit more high ground access than a Tracer, another nano target potentially. So the Titans still have Pulse on the Sigma to kick things off. So they're having a lot of success once they went over to the Diva. We'll see if they're able to kind of have success with the Sigma on defense.
Well, it changed the way that Dante had to play, didn't it? We've observed this before, by the way. Even when all the teams were playing Doomfist comps, Dante was always wanting to be peel-oriented as a Doomfist player. He would always turn back around and seismic slam into his backline if anyone tried to dive. We're still seeing that displayed here, and it was especially prevalent against the Diva. Now, against Sigma, that's probably less necessary, to be honest. The way that Dante can play can change as he tries to start off some of these fights and be there with Pelican.
Yeah, he's got an empowered punch lined up as well. He goes right in and trying to bully False here, but False getting some nice healing, getting another punch charged up.
Dante getting hit with that
See, when
aggression slow.
he has those punches, like the power ones charged up, it feels like he hangs on to it for a while, right? Compared to some of the other Dooms you see, like trying to find a perfect position to get that stun.
Yeah, quite a few he's trying to go on with the seismic slam as well. And just sort of make sure he can guarantee like a double stun potentially. Realizes how impactful that is. He's waiting for something. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, no, something you can kind of notice right away when you watch from his Doomfist POV compared to some of the other ones we see. Being able to hold on to that just a little bit longer. Kills being straightened out here though. Titans may be able to hold on.
Yeah, I think the Houston Outlaws really only care about maintaining the high ground. And that's what False is making hard for them. Even though they find a couple kills, they get rid of the Brigitte, for example, the Sigma doesn't leave. So the Titans have this really frustrating hold in the server room, which is really scary to push into because obviously Hyperspheres plus Brigitte's proximity healing and accretion are all things that can ruin your day before it really begins.
Shockwave away from the Sojourn, going to go over to Echo. So without a Tracer on the other side, you can play the Echo. Now this will be Dante getting a Nano here and doing loads of work inside the server room.
Yeah, I mean, Air Matrix used there, I definitely feel like that was a bit of a knee-jerk, bit of desperation, and great setup by Iris there is that Biotic Grenade that meant that even though there was immortality in play, Sky Reaper couldn't be healed back up.
Shockwave now over to Sombra, so trying to hack
Just
Dante.
I guess anti-Doom tech, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Although I feel like not as
so
strong.
short.
Yeah, because it's so short, right? I guess it can like interrupt abilities, right? Like it could interrupt a power block in that type of situation.
Yeah. And that might just be it.
Watch out for this one.
Well, I mean, Shockwave can't do anything now. He just tries to hack someone and try and find like a solo kill. Merit's out of there. He's long gone. Without Aspire, I mean, Tracer Sombra already doesn't boast a lot of damage as it is, Matt. So losing one of those players, like, you're a wet noodle.
Enemy in sight.
Yeah, and you're playing the Tracer Sombra without like a Zen, right? So you're playing it with the Batiste and the Brig.
False Gravitic Flux there, catches Iris, who's able to heal himself up with a Bionic Grenade as he hits the ground, times that well. But False isn't ousted from that high ground position. Shockwave gives up their position though by trying to hack. The Outlaws are waiting here. Dante's back in the fight, so here's where they try and go up a gear. Merit's sightline is so slim though.
They're trying to run down Lastro here as he's able to back out. Now you're going to use Sound Barrier and try and push on in.
This should be good for the Titans until Master just dies to Merit's rail and the car's moving the entire time. I thought they had Dante dead to rights.
Yeah, well, he gets nanoed. He gets nanoed and also has the Meteor Strike to get out of harm's way. So I think you see the Outlaws just taking control. When they're on offense with this Doomfist, it's like I was talking about earlier before this started up, it's way easier on the offensive side to run this Doomfist than on defense, because you can set the pace and the tempo of the game, right?
And you don't have to worry about peeling as much against the Sigma. You know, you can really focus on just like every time you use this Seismic Slam, it's to start a fight.
Well, you're the one that's
Create a big
dictating more
opportunity.
how the fights go.
Exactly. It feels better to play in a proactive manner in Overwatch, there's no doubt about it. Pelican, okay, gets rid of Scurry for there. The blade's been drawn. Translocate out for Shockwave, who has an EMP, but I mean, his opportunities to use it are really running out. It's going to be here. Not bad. Lastro disintegrates, and so does Merit.
Yeah, I mean, it does a large chunk of people's HP. Allows Shockwave to do even more damage. The cart's so close to completion here for the Outlaws. It's really just one more fight will be enough. You'll have Merit have the overclock. You're going to get closer to a Meteor Strike here. But Leave just trying to farm up some damage on Dante so they can get this Nano as well.
There is farming, yeah, that Nano really quickly as well, Matt. Dante took a ton of damage earlier on. Overclock here available. As soon as that gets popped, you know it's go time. A little bit of pressure from Aspire, and Merit's looking for backliners here. The Titans forced out of the advantageous sightlines they previously had, just on basis of the threat generated by Merit, who finds nothing with that Sojourn ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, he's missed a lot of rails on this map, specifically. He's had a pretty good series, but...
That's a recall from Aspire, Gravitic Flux. Who's in that? False is sleeping. Fat Biter Grenade to the backline. Yep, Master and Sky Reaper hit by that one. There's no coming back again. It's Iris who starts off the fight. And all said and done, the smoke clears. The Houston Outlaws feels like another day at the office for them. Pretty rudimentary display against the flagging Vancouver Titans. Don't worry, Vancouver, you might not be 0-7 anymore, but MI6 will still accept you. Don't worry about it.
Well, look, I think the Outlaws, they came in today, they showed us some different looks with Piggy on the Sigma. They looked quite well. False here at the end brought in to play the Sigma of his own. Very difficult in terms of going up against the Doomfists on a map like Gibraltar. I did think his Dita play, though. They'll look pretty good on offense. Maybe that's something we see from them in the future. But the Titans, they look better. Not enough to get a win against a team like Houston, though.
Yeah, again, look, you know, we Houston, I think, are also finding another step, sort of another level in their stride, right? You saw Piggy coming in, Dante actually moving to play DPS, and, you know, he's getting a decent amount of run on Tracer, where, you know, Pelicans had some incredible performances, but maybe sometimes is Tracer not what the team is looking for. Luke Mera has to step up in a big way in this kind of meta, and so far he's looked great. But let's talk about our player of the match here again. The master, as you put it, of musical chairs. For the Houston Outlaws, it's going to be Dante now.
Yeah, see, he had a fantastic series, whether it was on the Doomfist or Tracer. I know his Doomfist, you know, play so aggressive, you know, getting the nano boosts and other you know, help from the rest of the squad, but still very impactful, doing things like holding onto those, you know, empowered punches a little bit longer, getting better value out of them. And then when he comes in on the Tracer, plays phenomenal on Midtown.
I'm really pleased about how Dante plays against, like, or in a counter dive situation. Right? We've already talked at length about how he's got a very distinctive sort of peeling or reactive style where he has to be on the Doomfist. And that was something that he showcased even in the kickoff clash here. So this is a player with a lot of depth to his play style. He can really modulate his approach based on what kind of composition he's going up against. If he wants to be an instigator, or if he can be against like a Sigma, for example, he's able to do that. And it actually means that Dante, as a Doomfist player, and the Outlaws by extension, can be less concerned about what the metagame is dictating. This team was even playing in Doomfist happily against like the Reinhardt comps from the London Spitfire and had great success against them. So this is a team that can really sort of focus on a distinctive style that suits them and not sort of worry about like, oh, if Doomfist is that strong or what have you. They're well positioned right now.
You would worry if you're the Outlaws, if you had a really strong like Reinhardt or Winston meta, like if either of those tanks like really ascended and were like the dominant tank, then you may have a little bit of an issue. We don't know. I imagine Piggy has been working on some of those tanks. I'd probably even say Dante is probably working on.
We've seen Piggy play
tanks as well.
Ryan, sorry. We've seen him play
some Ryan, yeah. But right now, in the way the game's being played, they have everything they need to be a very talented team.
No doubt about it. We still got the post-show on the horizon, so don't go too far, everybody. That's 4 matches done as the Outlaws take a comfortable 3-0. I hope your Pick'ems are doing well. Let's see how the Discs Parades went. We're going to catch up with them after the break.
Welcome to Post Show, everybody. I'm here joined now by Dante from Houston Outlaws. Dante, congratulations on the win. 3-0 for the Houston Outlaws. Did you expect this to be a fast and easy win for your team?
I didn't expect it, but I didn't think it was going to be a hard match. I thought it'd be like whatever, maybe a 3-1, 3-0, I don't know. Didn't expect it to be like that, though.
It went by really fast. And Dante, I think you today had a fantastic showing, not only on that Doom, but also on that Tracer as well, we're seeing as right now. I just want to ask, because you're good on the Tracer, I mean, you also have someone named Pelican who's really good on the Tracer as well. So how does that, like, how do you guys decide who plays the Tracer in a map or in a match?
I'm not completely sure. I think maps where we're more likely to swap other heroes, we have Peli play, and I just play the ones where we think Tracer's just like perma-pick. And also if we think Doom could be good there, then we like just have Peli play, because you never know, like it's good not to, like, I need to be able to play the Doom if we have Peli playing, so it doesn't make sense for me to play those maps.
Yeah, no, because, I mean, Costa actually was seeing the same thing, so he was right.
Yeah, it happens all the time, Daddy.
It happens all, I don't think it happens all the time, but I mean, yeah, I'll give you that one. And also, I think at the end of the match, Mitch and Matt sort of talked about this, how right now, you know, Houston Outlaws, you guys are looking like using a lot of the Sigma composition or the Doomfist with you on the tank as well, and you guys are looking really, really clean. Do you feel like you guys sort of have all the tools you guys need for success in this stage, or are there stuff that you guys still need to sort of work out?
I think we can always get better. I feel like any team can say that. I think it is a good meta for us because we have Piggy on the Sigma. He's really, really good Sigma. We have Zen Bap, Lastro, and Iris, both really good on those heroes. It's just really comfort heroes for everyone. And we also have like 2 different comps going for us. We have like Doom comp on some maps, and we have the Sigma comp on others. So it makes it harder to prepare for. So I think this is a pretty good meta for us.
It does seem like it. And one final question before I let you go, Dante. I did see that next week you guys are playing the Los Angeles Gladiators. What are your opinions on the Gladiators in current meta?
I think this meta could be a good meta for them too. They're playing, or at least their last match, I think they played like Permadoom. I'm not sure it's that good, like that you can play it everywhere, but you know, if it ends up being a Permadoom meta, I think they'll be good. Reiner's a really good Doom, Shu really good Ana. They have the players for it. I'm personally excited to give them a rematch because I think I played awful when we played them last. So I just want to play better. That was not fun.
Okay. All right, I'm actually definitely most excited for that match next week. Again, big congratulations on the win today, and I'll be seeing you next week, Dante.
All right, sounds good. See you.
Bye, Dante. Thank you so much for the quick chat. Always great to hear and see you. I see Reinforced and I both got our emotional support plushies out. No, you got your press right. You don't deserve one.
You got it right too. Imagine picking New York.
Anyway, let's talk about the match which just unfolded. Houston Outlaws are looking great. We did expect them to do really well in the meta, and they continue to do just that. But walk us through the game. What happened? How did it happen? Why did it happen? Give us all the details.
Why did it happen?
Why did it happen?
Merit stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
Which we love to see, because Merit, we knew that he had the potential coming out of contenders. I was one of the people who actually praised him going into this, and I said, like, people, you talk a lot about Kilo from the San Francisco show, but Merit as well. He has Merit from the contenders era, of course. So going into this season, I was expecting good things from Merit, but he hadn't honestly showed us really what he was all about. He was a formidable hitscan player, but this was the first game where he really looked like took the game into his own hands and popped off and just won team fights, which is what you want star players to do, which is what you want really good players to do. So in that way, it was a bit of a breakout game for Merit, which is a great thing for the Houston Outlaws moving forward in this stage. But just in general, I mean, Pelican, who's not naturally a Tracer player, almost like out-tracered Aspire, who is the go-to tracer for the Vancouver Titans, so that says it all. Didn't really agree with Mirror being played here on Midtown as well. I like them leading into Falls, playing that Sigma instead. So there were a couple of close moments, like when Sky Reaper swapped over to the Moira. I think the Outlaws, they were kind of caught off guard and had some issues adapting to that. But for the most part, I mean, it was the Houston Outlaws just stepping on the gas, dominant, and that's what we love to see from them. Because in large part, I think we can all agree, if we talk about it, Houston Outlaws is a team we want to see be able to compete with the better teams, not mess around with these, Washington Justice, Paris Eternal. Like, we want to see them take one step up and start competing with the very top spots in the league.
Yeah, and I said going into this match, it's Houstonable, right? And that's something that they need to get out of their identity as a team. They are a great team. They have great players. We shouldn't be going into every lower tier match that they have and be like, well, it could be losable. They need to have clean matches like these against worse opponents.
Absolutely. Well, they did get the W on the board. Let's see how many more of those they can rake up in this very stage. So far, of course, the first week has been looking great for them, though. And we had many great moments, 4 incredible matches today. Some really went the distance. Some were a little more one-sided, but we like those too, right? Because good dominance is good dominance. You'd like to see that.
I like strong teams.
Exactly, we do like strong teams. So we had plenty of great gameplay and great footage to choose our best of the day from. So, Costa, with all that choice, what did you end up taking?
There were a lot of really good moments. There were a lot of cool things that happened, great plays, some not so good plays, but mine's actually a weird one because I just think it's neat. I just thought it was it made me chuckle. It made me chuckle when I was it was like, oh, that was funny how it works. So someone shatters and he gets unlucky because the 2 people he shattered falls off the edge and then he goes to follow them and Checkmate uses his block in front of him and blocks him. So he can't do anything with it. They still win the fight and it was fine, but it made me chuckle. So
yeah, no, that did indeed. I mean, unlucky. Just sometimes it'd be like that. That's
just sometimes really you get a series of unfortunate events, and that happened to someone.
In comes in a situation like that, are you gonna go at your May for that one, or what's the situation?
Yeah. I actually, as a Rhino player, I'd probably be like, look.
Checkmate! Come on! Make me look bad.
Come on! It's not like you don't say anything, but you're like.
But you would if you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you're thinking.
Definitely, I would definitely say.
You would want to say something. Well, Danny, what got you today?
My best of the day. So whenever I play, this is my personal thing. I think the most tilting or frustrating thing is when I get just yeeted off the map, and I want to just say I just want to say what the receiving, when you're on the receiving end, it does get a lot tilting.
Oh my God. And that it was so far.
Don fist punch onto a Dredro. It happens not once, not twice, but 3 times. So if you get yeeted off the map 3 times from the same person, imagine how frustrating that is.
Twice from the same angle too, basically. Yeah. So have you learned nothing?
And I was just watching that. I'm like, wow, Myeonbong just held it together still, and he played the game.
More like Myeon gone.
Honestly, I kind of like it. I don't really want to give it to you, but I'm at the age where that stuff amuses me.
No, don't give it to him.
No, you're not at that age. Zoe, if you're at that age, that means I'm at that age. You're bringing me down too.
You're still a year younger than I am, okay? That was...
Hex is laughing in the production room. I know it. I know it. He loves it.
Well, I don't even know how to transition out of that one. Anyway, Jonathan, what made you chuckle or not? What pained you today? What made it your best of the day?
We're here to be sad.
Okay.
Okay, all of a sudden, wow, that's 0 to 100
Turn of events.
Okay.
2 very sad moments in today's matches. And we go to Eichenwalde for the pit of death. This time around, we start off with Victoria on the Hanzo. And I think he wants to climb back up here, but he falls.
Did he just jump? Was it a jump?
We never know. We will never know.
He jumped.
If Proper was running at me as well, I'd probably jump.
I don't want to get killed by you. I'll rather just kill myself.
And then whoop. Let me slide. Oh no. punches air.
Gravity to player 0.
He tried to take
air.
gravity with him on the way down. Yeah.
It's hard to beat gravity. little side.
There was a Victoria Falls joke in there, though.
There was. Oh, that's
there was
true.
somewhere in there. I like that. Yeah, honestly, I like it when you see the map coming out on top. Sometimes that's just. You
can't beat the map.
No, exactly. I mean, we
Map
saw
always
what
wins.
was trying. Punching thin air right there. It just doesn't. It won't get you back on the map, sir. Anyway, I have a more uplifting one to end our best of today, and that's I personally. Okay, I was about to tell a lie, and I can't do that on air. I do rejoice in people's misery, but I also really like when someone's just joyful, just happy. He's
so happy.
What
Look
does he
at him!
have?
Look at him go!
What is that? It's
I don't know.
It's
Winston?
Is it a someone like?
Is that someone? Winston?
Yeah, it's a.
Oh, it's like a someone.
It says
canvas.
someone, and it's Winston.
Ah,
Just happy. Look at him! Look at him
It's
go.
him.
he's so happy.
It's Winston.
He should be on the desk. We need to bring him to the desk.
Yeah,
He's going to replace you soon, Danny. I don't know.
I'm
if you
pretty
should be
sure.
saying that.
If someone says that he will replace me, I'll gladly give him the spot. But of
It's
course.
just some
Take it, man.
good times, man. Like,
But until
I'm happy with that.
until he learns English, I think I'm okay.
He's like, I'll hold him down for a while.
Now, there is a bonus best of the day. This one is Productions
bonus?
best of the day.
Oh, really?
So let's take a look at what they got from us.
Yeah!
Where was
Wait,
it?
it's us.
Live in person. Oh, it's
us.
us. Oh, yeah! Look at our player poses.
Esports poses.
Esports poses brought to you by the Watchpoint Desk.
Hey!
Also very esports. Esports people just like pointing at things.
Yeah.
That's just all we do. We get paid for that. Yeah, like I
thanks,
love pointing at
production.
things.
Yeah.
Production, lights, ceilings, trucks. Like wow.
Good job.
So pointable.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic.
It was.
Like, we're finally back in person. Let's see how long it lasts. But I've had a great old time. We had some great matches and so much more coming. Some last thoughts as we're ending week number 1 in stage number 2. On the meta, do you guys feel like it's established? Is it enjoyable? What is your personal highlight? What is your big takeaway from week number 1, starting with you, Reinforce?
I think
It's gonna go.
No.
I think Jaws needs to get his casting duo together. Come
He's all
on.
over the place.
You're all over the place. You're shuffling around, trying to gather this Infinity Gauntlet of yours. Come on, grow up. Oh, cast your Infinity Gauntlet, Jaws. It's time for you to get someone more permanent, okay? I hope Necro gets back, and I hope we get some good casts, because both of them are really good.
We kind of need them,
Great
Jaws.
talent.
Yeah, can you like
Just saying.
stop stealing our analysts?
Kind of need them. Yeah.
Can I go now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
it's
I'm
your
allowed to
turn.
go, okay.
Yes, you're allowed. Share a
Can you call
class.
me Danny as well? For me, I'm going to say Sojin. I think Sojin is so fun to watch. Awesome to see her in the meta. Players are popping off. That's exciting to watch.
Took your point.
Took yours?
It can be your point too.
You had a backup one? What's yours? What's your backup one?
Oh, no, go ahead. Keep talking.
No, I'm done.
You're done? That's it?
You're up.
Sojin, good.
Sojin, yeah, Sojin's good.
Me? I don't know about the meta. I just like being here, just like production, with production, and also all 4 of us, because it's my first time being on the desk with you guys in person ever.
That's true.
Ever. Because I wasn't
only had
here
you
in 2020,
virtual,
so
yeah.
it feels great. I love being carried by all these amazing people. So please carry me through the season.
I mean,
Carry us.
I was about to say, I feel like you carry us most of the time, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but I mean, if I say that, I can't really say that. Everyone
Sure,
knows
that look a little arrogant, but we know. Yeah, no, it's I think my highlight has been looking at schedules.
Oh, okay.
I love schedule. I'm sorry. Like some people put a lot of work into our graphics, and I want to highlight that, and I think they should have their moment in the sun.
East is back.
So here it is. The Eastern region is back on a Friday, June the 24th, and we're kicking things off over there with the Philadelphia Fusion taking on the LA Valiant, and after that, the Chengdu Hunters will take on the Seoul Dynasty. So 2 matches coming your way. These are their first showings in this new patch, so I'm very interested to see how those teams over there are adapting. strong. And then we're heading into week number 2 for the Western region, starting off with the London Spitfire, according to Costa, the best team in the league currently, going up against the New York Excelsior, followed by the Florida Mayhem, who will take on the Dallas Fuel. And the last match of the day is going to be the Atlanta Reign and the Vancouver Titans. Is that another Vancouver Titans prediction for you, Reinforce?
No, stop. This never happened.
Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Johnny, but Kai though.
This never happened.
Kai though.
I've never
Just
predicted
saying.
the Vancouver Titans.
I could have sworn there's a graphic that proves the other one.
I'm pretty sure
graphics.
we could pull the receipts if you, if
No,
you
they're not
really
graphics.
want.
They disappear. Once you use them once, they disappear. They're no longer to exist.
They just go up in flames. That's how graphics work on broadcast. That's how graphics work when I'm wrong in them usually. They just disappear. It's so weird. I don't know. You shouldn't give me access to that kind of stuff. Just telling you right now, production. But yeah, that's it. We saw schedules. We saw highlights. We had a great time together. Everyone's happy. So on this high note, I'd like to say goodnight to everyone watching. Thank you all so much for joining us for yet another exciting week and an exciting day of Overwatch action. We will be back next week, starting with Eastern region, so mark your calendars. I hope to see all 3 of you back in the truck with me next week. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe. We need you.
Drink water.
Same for you. Drink water. Stay hydrated. Thank you so much for watching, and see you very soon.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.